Good afternoon and welcome to the UPES School of Design webinar. Thank you so much for taking out time to be here with us today. I hope to, through this discussion, just talk a little bit about the School of Design, the kind of courses we offer, the kind of direction that our students are taking, and the employment opportunities for School of Design students out here. To start with, I have a lot of parents and students coming and asking me, what is design? And it's something that's I think some people know about, but many people don't. It's the point where form meets function and suddenly starts becoming useful to a human being. So whether it is improving the driving experience in a car, or whether it is improving the experience on a website or an app, or really making the user feel in control even in unknown situations, even in new terrains, for making something that is intuitive and easy to use. That's the designer's job. And we at the UPES School of Design try to mix form and function and encourage our students to really make aesthetic and yet useful designs for people all across the world. And we have two major streams. We have transportation design and industrial design, as well as interiors and retail, which come under the overarching umbrella of industrial design. And we also have communication design, which encompasses animation, as well as visual effects, interaction design, and graphic design. So these are the two large major streams that we offer to our students. And they are all courses that have been carefully tailored by our faculty in conjunction with industry experts. We try to make our courses aligned with all the industry requirements. And they typically, at every stage, they build the students' capability in the design process, as well as in terms of understanding human-centered design, and at the same time align them to the technology requirements and the breakthroughs that are happening in the world of technology, and helping them sort of innovate in a multidisciplinary way. So we also are supported by the School of Engineering as well as the School of Computer Science, and we have the School of Law as well as Management within the same campus. And typically we do work on a lot of very exciting interdisciplinary projects, which include some work that we're doing around robotics, where the School of Design participates. We've also gone to the extent of participating in the designing of a canister satellite, for which along with the other students from the other schools from UPES, including engineering, where we won an award at the world stage in 2017. So I would say that UPES School of Design exists at the cutting edge, and we do a lot of multidisciplinary work. And we have the benefit also of having wonderful labs for the students to sort of learn by doing and to prototype. They include labs for ceramics as well as metal, and also some of the more high-tech labs. We have a Mac lab and a Cintiq lab for students to experiment with technology. And one of the things that our students really love about this place is the wonderful campus. It is set in Dehradun, and we're surrounded by mountains. It's very, very green and beautiful. And it offers a lot of opportunities for a designer to sort of explore themselves as well as explore the environment, explore projects that are also linked to sustainability, as well as understand the ecology better, understand the environment in which they exist and how they can make a difference, as well as become catalysts for change in the whole ecosystem that we exist. So at the end of the day, we hope to build good citizens with a sense of social responsibility, a responsibility to making a difference to the underserved, as well as citizens who would excel at the world stage in the field of design and really be enablers to some of the very key changes that are happening in the world that impact the environment, that impact the entire ecosystem of technology that we are working towards in terms of technology innovation. So we really have designers at the cutting edge that make a difference on the world stage, and that's really our goal in terms of what we want to build. And so that's it from my side just now, but I would love to get questions from all of you and see if if there are certain points that certain areas that you want to discuss, or certain areas that you'd like me to cover in more depth. So just to do a quick check, how many of you are already from UPES? Are you already students? Are there any of you who are sort of existing students of UPES? And are some of you aspiring to join UPES and would like to know more? So you could type out your questions at the bottom if you have any. Is anyone not aware of UPES as a brand? There's something that you'd like to know about our overall purpose, the fact that we we call ourselves a university with the purpose, and we also focus on design with a purpose. So while art and aesthetics and innovation is an important part, our end goal is really to make a difference to the end user, the person who's going to use it, whether it's the person who's using a website or a person who is using a car. It's really making a difference to their lives, which is at the core of our mission and purpose. And we also really look at both the design as well as the science behind it, and the aspect of engineering. So for instance, if it is a car, we ensure that it is the design that we create is really well engineered, and it really meets all the principles of engineering. It's not just aesthetics, but really at the core of it, it's user-centered design with solid engineering. And those of you who have not really visited our institute, you must make a trip. It's a beautiful campus, and we would love to show you around the different the studios, the workshops, as well as the classrooms. We also have excellent faculty who have a background, and they are many of them are PhDs, many of them are from the industry. I myself, I've recently joined as the director, School of Design, but I have a background in the industry. I've been working in the area of interaction design as well as e-learning and animation, mix of all these disciplines, and my background being from NID in Ahmedabad. So, so just like myself, we have different faculty with work experience, with industry experience from companies like LG, Escorts, Mahindra and etc. So they have actually hands-on working experience in the industry and some of them are PhDs and researchers from IIT. So we have a wonderful blend, and I think what is most important and what really drives success is having the right faculty and a one-on-one experience, teaching experience and learning experience. Okay, so I have a few questions over here from Arjun Suresh. How good is communication design there? Communication design, the curriculum has been created with inputs from people in the industry, and we've also benchmarked with institutes like NID and MIT and others, which offer very sound courses in communication design. I myself am a communication designer, and we have some very good faculty from there. So I would say it is a strong discipline, and it's a discipline that we take very seriously. We also ensure that they get, the students will get good employment at the end of it. How good is animation and VFX? Animation VFX again is good. We have tie-ups. In fact we have tie-ups with people in the industry, and we're working with them on projects so that are relevant to the actual industry, and we are working with some of the cutting-edge technology. We work with softwares like Maya and 3D Max and Blender, etc., and of course the Adobe ones. But also in terms of inputs, what's most important is really understanding the principles of animation, which really apply to 2D or 3D animation, and that really that's the essence which we start with before we really jump into the technology. Also the storytelling and the narrative skills are very, very critical, and those are sort of inputs that we provide. And we also have internal faculty as well as visiting faculty from some of the top institutes who are taking these courses. There's one question, ma'am, still are you going to admissions for designing? How can we approach? If the admissions are still going on. In fact, today there are registrations happening. But you could get in touch with us if you're still looking out. And there is another question, James Gordon, can you visit UPES website? And oh, okay, so that's a response, sorry. There's a question from Arpan, how is the placement for industrial design? The School of Design has had 100% placement this time, so there's nothing to worry about. And industrial design is what we've really started with. So we've got a strong foundation, we've got good alliances over there, and so you need not worry on that quarter at all. And some of the companies that we have are, there's General Motors, and there's Maruti, and then there is Tata Elxsi, and our transportation designers as well as our product designers really go into these sort of companies. Tata Technologies is another good employer. Okay, another question from Arjun. Is there any group that can help us for placements? So I think, yeah, this question, if you could, Chirag, if you could address. Okay, internally we have the career services team, which really supports in terms of placements, and we work closely with them, the other School of Design faculty as well as myself, because we understand what skill sets we are building within the School of Design, and we also know the industry, and we definitely can help in terms of those placements, working along with the career services team at UPES. Another question from Sriram, is communication design similar to interaction design? The way we've sort of defined it, interaction design comes under the umbrella of communication design, because it's how the end user communicates with the digital world, whether it is with a PC or with a mobile or maybe a touch screen. So it's or an infotainment system in a car. So an interaction design is really a subset of communication design. And communication design covers the whole overarching umbrella of, I mean, it includes animation, graphic design, the look and feel of things, as well as the composition and how intuitive it is to use. So all that gets covered really under communication design. And another question, ma'am, can you give details on product design and its use? So product design is really how user-centric a product is. So let's take the example of an iPhone. Now an iPhone is typically something that you buy because you love the design, not so much the, I mean, the engineering is excellent, but it's really the simplicity of the design, the intuitiveness. You don't really need a big manual. If you see the manual that comes with an iPhone when you buy it, it's very minimalistic. There's hardly any information because it preempts what the user may need. And that's what we want to make our products. So they're just intuitive and they're easy to use, no matter what the product is, whether it's a phone or a mixer or a medical device or something more complex. And question from Yatin: what is the difference between graphic design and media design? Now they are related fields. But graphic design, typically the inputs that we would give would be color and composition, typography, and layout, digital editing, digital imaging, and to some extent motion graphics, etc. So we're dealing with the visual medium, but a large part of it, apart from maybe some inputs on motion graphic, large part of it would be static. In media design, you get to experiment with multiple media. That could be film, it could be live action film, it could be animation film, it could also be new media, which new media covers things like interaction design. It could cover something like e-learning, if some of you are aware of web-based learning. It could also cover the whole area of social media and the interaction design, and also the viral ads that you see over there. So it's really design in motion that gets captured on a media, and you also need to have a knowledge of film language and also world events, etc., to be successful in the media design front. Question from Vaibhav: when will the BDES industrial design and product design classes start? So the students have already started joining in from this week itself. They're really starting from tomorrow, where we have our orientation program. And another question from Guju Sharma: many people consider industrial design and product design to be closely related disciplines. Can you please explain about the key difference between them? Actually, industrial design is the larger umbrella which covers transportation design and product design, and also maybe furniture design and retail and interiors. So it really covers the whole gamut. Product design is the design of individual products under that, whereas industrial design is like a mix of everything, all of them put together. And Chirag, okay. Arjun Suresh: how good is animation and VFX in our country? Now that's a good question. I am an animator myself from NID, and I passed out many years ago. So at that stage there was no industry for animation, and but at that stage some of us who had worked in the industry really helped to build it. And there are others, some of my classmates in the field who are big time into animation for advertising. Some are filmmakers, like the one you may have seen, Bahubali. The visual effects that are done in Bahubali 1 have been done by one of my friends from NID. And so some of us have really built this industry. And now, in fact, there are many opportunities for animators, and it's not just making films, but it's ads, it's in e-learning, it's in digital marketing, viral ads, etc. And VFX, of course, most of the Bollywood films have VFX, so there's huge opportunity out there. And Irfan, rather than sketching with other basic knowledge we require for product design, or what are the basic knowledge we require for product design? So you don't really require so much in terms of knowledge, you just need to have curiosity and a creative mind. And that's what we typically look for, a person who asks questions, and the rest of it we build. I mean, in terms of basic knowledge, once you come here, then you'll learn how to do geometric drawings, you'll learn how to use the right software, how to do human-centered design. So rest we teach you, but you need to have that basic curiosity, the ability to ask questions, and a creative mindset. And okay, is transportation design a good career option for future careers and jobs? Transportation design is a good option, because if you don't limit it to only automobiles, look at the larger spectrum of mobility. I mean, you can even look at aircraft design, you can look at drone design. If you look at the future technologies and innovations that are happening, designers play a huge role. If you limit yourselves and are not cross-functional and not looking into the future, then yes, there may be limited jobs, but otherwise on a wider range there are many possibilities. What are top placements happening in BDES? As I said, we had 100% placement, and so far we've been heavy on the product design and transportation design front, so I would say those would be top. But if I look into the future, interaction design will be, it's one of the places where most companies are looking for designers, because of the app boom. Everybody has apps, everybody has websites coming up, so there's a big demand for interaction designers, and also designers that are working in the emerging technologies, new technology space. Having said that, product design and transportation design really remain big and important. Okay, another question from Webhub. By opting for product and industrial design at UPES in BDES, will we be able to design two-wheeler and furniture design? Furniture design is a slightly different stream. We do want to start it, but two-wheeler design you would do as a part of maybe transportation design, not so much product design. In case you've opted for transportation design, yes, you can do that. In product design, maybe not. Jatin Prakash, how important is sketching in graphic design? Because I'm not much good in sketching. See, sketching is something that we can help you develop also. It takes practice. And in pure graphic design, as long as you've got a good color sense and a good sense of composition, and you know, are able to do good storytelling, you should be able to manage, because there are tools that exist. In animation, you need to be able to draw well. Graphic design, I've seen some of my friends and some of my others in the industry who don't draw very well but are top-notch graphic designers, so you should be okay. Arpan, are there any specific books on industrial design? There are many, but I can send these to you separately, because I can't offhand. I would like to give you the right references and come back to you. Maybe I can ask for your email address, and if you can send that, I'll mail them to you. So where does the Indian animation stand in the world? This again is a question that Indian animation on the world stage, there is a mixed opinion out there, because if you take the animation that happens in Poland, it has a distinctive style. Or if you take the Japanese animation, I mean they have manga and as a basis, and the anime style. They have their own distinct style, which is not polluted by any other influences. Indian animation, we have, because we are such a diverse country, each state has their own approach, and it's not always, they don't always sort of come together very successfully, but individually there are some brilliant animators who are working with clay animation, and some that have been working on mythological animation, some who are doing ethnographic documentaries. So there's a wide range of possibilities for animators, but we don't have a distinctive Indian animation style, to be honest. And there are pros and cons. I mean, why should we restrict ourselves there? Then another question from Arjun. What are the other extracurricular activities in the campus? I mean, we have sports, we have cultural activities, even starting from your engagement with, or the induction that you have when you come in, where you're making installations together, you're making murals together. There are also awards that the students participate in. As I said, that they even won an award for designing a satellite. So there are a lot of fun activities on campus which you can enjoy, and it's a beautiful campus. Those of you who like trekking or exploring the forests, not that we want you to get lost in the forest, but it's a very scenic place. And then another question from Extreme Android. Karthik, is there any scope of foreign exchange in UPS? So is this question for Karthik? I'm not sure, but we do have programs which support exchange. We also come under the umbrella of Laureate. Laureate covers about 80 universities worldwide, and there are several design schools in that, and we are working towards having some sort of exchange program with some of those universities. This is still in progress. In interior design, what are the subjects in UPS? Now, this is something that the curriculum is getting built up, but it would be the design of interiors, the understanding of different types of interiors, for instance, the heritage interiors, the heritage buildings, the thinking behind them in terms of the way they are created, some understanding of architectural design, some understanding of urban planning. So all these skills put together. Irfan, is there any specific book for product design? Yes, so these I will need to come back to you on the specific books. There are good books. If you can all help me with your, those who are interested in getting the information on books on product design and industrial design, if you can also drop in your email ID, I'll ensure that you get your answer. Then Arpan, are we prepared in every way possible in UPS for the best placements in the future? See, as faculty and as an institute, we definitely do our best in giving you the right inputs in terms of the design process, in terms of giving you the skills, in terms of knowledge of tools, as well as drawing, as well as the software and the learning by doing in the labs. But a lot of effort has to also come from the side of the students, because ultimately when you're facing the industry, when a design head looks at your portfolio, he needs to be impressed. And while we will give you the inputs to improve your portfolio and work on it, there has to be effort from both sides. The students also have to put in the effort, and we definitely will do our best with you. And another question from Basil Sunny. How much salary can a product designer have? Now that really varies from company to company and what stage you're at, whether you're a BDES or an MDES. But starting, I mean, you can expect anything between 3.5 to 4.5, and then you have to, depends on your capabilities and skills. What are the major skills required to pursue transportation design? Drawing is important. Understanding of form and sort of building, and a little bit of scientific inquiry of how what makes an aerodynamic form, how does the engineering of a car work, etc. And those sort of aspects are important. And there are also styling is very, very important, but really coming up with a human-centered vehicle that is tailored to different requirements is at the core of it. And you also need to have some amount of futuristic thinking, because by the time a car is really launched into the market, it's already, 4 or 5 years ahead. So you really have to have an eye of what's going to happen in the future and awareness of what's happening. Then another question from Naveed. Can you see qualified candidates now take admission in UPES? Yes, you can, but we still have the interview and the portfolio round. We need to assess your portfolio and on that basis be able to take you in. Then how can we change the personal details if there is a mistake after registration? So that's a question for maybe Chirag. Then I got 2000 rank in USEED 2018. Will I get any kind of scholarship? Scholarship typically are based on your school performance. If you got above 80% in your 10th and 12th, then the top 10% of those students will get maybe a waiver of 50% on their fees, but it's really it's on a ranking basis. And question from Kawalpreet, placements for interior designers. Well, even if you Google design, you find that interior design comes at the top of the list. There are many opportunities for interior designers, but a lot of them opt to be individual entrepreneurs or individual consultants. So otherwise they can work for an architectural firm as a part of a company, but typically a lot of them become entrepreneurs. Can we change our field in BDES after the first year foundation at UPES? As for right now, we have to choose one, and I am not yet decided on any specific field. Now, we can guide you and help you make that selection. As of this year, we wouldn't really encourage changing a stream once it's been decided, because our entire planning is based on the number of students who want to opt for one discipline or the other. But if you have any questions in terms of what you're better made for, we'll be happy to coach you and guide you on that. How the exam patterns will be going on? I'm not sure I get the question, because yes, I'm not sure about this. For product design, it's a standard test across. We take the UC or the special UPS test scores, and that is really standard, as well as the interview and the portfolio round, in which you get to we get to see your interest and your bent in your sketches or in your models. Tom Soni, the first batch of BDES students have just passed out, I believe. How good were the placements? What were the highest packages offered? Now, I don't have details in terms of the highest packages, but the placement was really 100%. They've got placed in some of the good places, and some of them have actually also opted for further studies. Like we have one person going to Royal College of Art in London, but we've also got students joining TCS and Tata Elxsi and others. Kamalpreet, I want to know that is, I'm already doing interior designing from Indore SDPS College. So should I leave it and start again my interiors from UPS, or should I continue in Indore only? See, that's a personal decision. I don't know whether you are based in Indore or where your family is located. So I can't say how happy you are with your current college. But definitely over here you'll get a good exposure, and we got excellent faculty who's got like over 30 years experience, in fact, and he's from MIT Institute, and as well as some other relatively junior but very faculty with a good industry background who are looking at it. So we will be able to give you good inputs over here. Then what's the average salary that a transportation designer gets as a fresher annually? As I said, initially it may be 3.5 to 4.5, but rest of it really depends on which company you go to. I'm giving a very basic average salary. So later on it depends on your performance. What is the scholarship pattern in UPES? As I explained earlier, if you got 80% in your 10th standard and your 12th standard, 80% and above, then by ranking, the top 10% of the students will get a 50% off on their first semester fees. And question from Vaibhav: how and from where can we get help from UPES to decide the field we should go for in BDES? So when you are enrolling, you're free to reach out to any of us, any of the faculty, as well as the enrollment team that is on the ground. Typically our faculty are there, they can look at your portfolio and guide you also. And you could always reach out to any of us, any of the faculty before, and send in your sketches and things like that. We'll be happy to support you. So great, I think that seems to be the end of the questions. So those of you who, if you like, if you have further questions, you could always drop me an email. My email address is m.mohan, m.mohan at ddn.upes.ac.in. So those of you who, for instance, had questions on specific books, etc., if you could just drop me an email and ensure that you'll get an answer, and any of you who feel that the questions were not adequately answered or you want some more information, I'd be happy to respond to you. So thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time. So the one more question has come up from Kamalpreet, faculties for interior designers. So we have one senior faculty called Professor Rajan Iyer, who he's got close to 30 years experience. He is an NIT graduate and also has been teaching extensively at MIT in Pune, and so he comes with rich experience. And there's also Siddharth Mukherjee, who is again with an excellent background. He's an architect by profession, but he's also got his post-graduation in product design. So it's a combination, and he's worked in the industry in a company like Godrej Innovation Center, etc. So we've got some very good faculty over here for interior design, plus people who will visit from the industry. One more question from Vaibhav: can we get help from faculty to decide the field on a call? So Vaibhav, I would suggest you drop me an email on the email address that I mentioned, and I could connect you to the right faculty. Yeah, my email ID, I'll just repeat it again. It's m.mohan at ddn.upes.ac.in. Okay, so feel free to reach out to me. So I'll either address your questions myself, or I'll get one of the relevant faculty in my team to get back to you. Okay, thank you very much. It was a very interesting discussion for me, and also each of your questions were very valid, and I hope to keep on the dialogue, and you feel free to connect with me later also. Thank you.